darkness for a piece
To
of me.
me. Yes. Oh, wait a minute.
I can feel
Hey,
this for sure.
hey, everybody. Butterscotch is still having a little malfunction. How y'all doing? Well, as you already know, this is the month of, as they call it, Black History Month. Yeah. Well, I had a special guest that was supposed to come in today, but I don't know what happened to the young lady. But you know, like they always say, the show must go on. Am I right? Well, that is right. So, being that this is the shortest month of the year, you know, Butterscotch always do a big Black History Month showcase. I did one last year. It was a sensation. Well, I'm not able to do it this year because I was too late for the booking to rent out the large studio to do that showcase. But I have something coming up for you in March, which is a Pisces month, which is my birthday. That's right. So anyway, I would like to talk about Black History Month and express to you that this is very sensitive for me as a person, as a woman of color. And I find that, openly speaking, that we're in the 20th century now. And there really hasn't been that much change economically in terms of social, community, all the diversity that we experience in our lifetime. Just continue to strive with our everyday living. And, you know, discrimination, you know, that's still going on. Ain't nothing changed with that. You can't change people, that's for sure. Only thing you can do is you be the right person and do the right thing. You know, um, it doesn't matter who you are, and I say it clearly, that we all bleed the same way. We all have the same organs. Yes, we do. Only thing is, we all have different colored skin. That's it. You know, some of us are, we come from different culture backgrounds, you know. And, some people just don't want to accept change, you know. They just want to stay in their hard, evil life, be miserable, hating on others, you know. And as you know, in Christianity, in whatever religion you do or whatever you practice, in all y'all books, I don't care, it's Islam, Judaism, whatever, they all talk about the Creator's talking about hate. Hate, people hating. Hating is what destroys lives. It really does. You know, and I'm just talking at the top of my tongue, y'all, because, like I said, it's very emotional for me. And me personally, I don't see too much change. Only thing I see change in is change in the year and the time. You know, that's it. And as far as technology, that's it. That's the only thing that has advanced. But people are still in this same darkness. And I ask myself over and over, and I plead out to you because of our children. The children. Some of us old farts, like myself, I'm up there now. I'm going to be 58 this year. Our children are supposed to outlive us. That's how it's supposed to be. Now, my condolences go to a family of mine. I had to go to a funeral just recently. One of my loved ones, he was young. I mean, he was younger than me. Good job, no children. He died on New Year's Day, coming home from hanging out. And that was a blow to get on New Year's. You know, it was a blow. It took a toll on me. Besides everything else that's going on, me dealing with my daughter's issues still, my health, and my loss for my loved ones. such as my mom, my godmother, a couple other people that been in my life that's not here anymore. And being that this is Black History Month, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I want to read something to you that Harriet Tubman said. I'll start off with that one. Give you a little history, y'all, okay? Harriet Tubman said, I had reasons. This is out in my mind. There was one or two things I had a right to: liberty or death. If I could not have one, I would have the other. I grew up like a neglect weed, ignorant of liberty, having no experience of it. I had crossed the line. I was free, but there was no one to welcome me to the land of the freedom. I was a stranger in a strange land. I was the conductor of the Underground Railroad for 8 years, and I can say what most conductors can say. I never ran my train off the track, and I have never lost a passenger. That's deep. And you know, that's deep. And I'm so disappointed, you know, in our communities and stuff and with the school system that you'd be surprised. A lot of people don't even know anything about their history, their ancestry, or nothing. Anytime I was talking to some young artists, let me give you an example. I brought up this artist, I told her, I said, listen, you sound like Melba Moore. You know, she said, huh, who's Melba Moore? I said, honey, listen, y'all don't understand. There's so much history out here that people of color have. There's no excuse. You're on internet, people. Google it. You know, you might take pride, understand why your history is so important. You know, you got young kids out here that want to be in the music. They don't know no history about who invented the music. They don't know half the people because nobody's teaching it to them. And that's sad. Because when I brought up Melba Moore to this girl, because she had the style like Melba Moore, I said, look her up. When that young lady came, she's a teenager. When that young lady came back to me, she said, Butterscotch, wow. I said, well, this is where you need to be. Because if you ain't going to get into music, you need to know all about the culture of music. The struggle of those artists who made this music great what it is today. So much greatness out there. And you know what? If our kids knew how much greatness was out there, maybe they wouldn't be on the streets or doing negative things, because they understand they are welcome too, and be proud of who they are. But you continue to diminish from this, people, and then you want to put your kids in places and expect somebody else to fix them. Well, I can go on, because this is part of my Black history, and I'm going to tell it because, you know, it's a struggle, and it continues to be a struggle. It needs to be fed. Some of you might not like me, but that's okay. And some of you love me and hate me at the same time, but that's okay too. Because that one thing for sure, as long as I'm breathing, I am not going to shut up. You know, it's freedom of speech, right? I'm not disrespecting nobody. But I feel like I have the right, just like anybody else, who comes on their TV and do their shows and say what they want to say. You know, diverse, right? So it is. And it annoys me. I'm being honest. I'm just very disappointed with this because, you know, we have so much history. And it's so interesting just watching it. I'm not talking about the history where they're always showing people being slaves and on a boat and all that. Show those inventors. You'd be surprised all the things that's out here that people of color is the one who invented it. And not even getting the credit for it because you hear about it years and years ago. You know, that's why it's so important for us to tell your children they are important. Don't let nobody discourage you from doing what you want to do, because you are important. There you have it. So, I like the show. Let me show you some flicks. Let me show you some of the celebrities that I definitely respect and admire a great deal. And as I'm showing them, Brian, as you're showing them, take your time showing them because I want to. One of the celebrities that I always had an eye for, ever since she came on this planet, honey, made her mark. I love me some Queen Latifah. I love me some Queen Latifah. That is one sister that I'm proud of. Honestly proud of. She's from Jersey. Her mother was a school teacher. The girl, I followed her ever since she came out. And what she said, when you invest in people and you watch the joy that you can bring to someone, it makes what we do rewarding. Did you hear that? Did y'all hear that? When you invest in people and you watch the joy that you can bring to someone, it makes what we do rewarding. I took that as same thing. If you give back, you help others, not looking for nothing, from the kindness of your heart, you always get rewarded. And one thing about me, I've always been a giving person. But people continue to want to take advantage of me, use me. And, you know, it hurts because we're all human. But I wash it off. You know why? Because the Creator got my back. Anytime I've been dead 6 times, brought me back. Yes. And I am going to finish my journals and stuff and get my whole life story from childhood all the way up to now. And I'm guarantee you, whoever published my book is going to be a bestseller because it's hardcore, it's everything. Everything about me that I went through as a person. Being a victim. Yes. Domestic violence, rape, kidnapped, tortured. I can just go on. Things that happened to me. And that's what makes me want to continue. What makes me continue to be who I am is that because I always had faith. All the heartache and pain that I continue to go through, I always have faith. You know, so that's very important. Well, to say all that, Well, there's another famous gentleman that I always admired. He's been my rock. Malcolm X. I love Malcolm X because his power, his words, they just embed in your soul. If you read them with the understanding, they get you right here. He says, a man who stands for nothing will fall anyway. You know what that meant to me? We're dealing with that every day, people. Your kids, these kids out here, I'm going to give you an example of what he said right here, what I took this minute, right now in this present time. For example, you got kids out here. Staten Island got an epidemic of pill poppers out here and shit, and everything. And you got a high rate, ODs and ODs out here. I was kind of shocked when I heard this because in the survey and everything out in the nation, they are considered one of the highest. This little Staten Island, highest for opioids, OD. But I have to tell you something, people. These ODs ain't in our communities. Yes. We have other things in our community, yeah. Drugs are everywhere. I don't care where you live. You can be in the richest part of town, wherever you go. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. I don't care where you live. So I get pissed off when people stereotype, like they call the good or the hood. You need to stop that. Stop it. Because they're everywhere. You can go in the judge's chamber. He's probably sniffing some cocaine, okay? Hint, hint. I'm just telling you. Real is real. And some people might not like me saying this, but it's the truth. And I'm not sugarcoating anything because we need to get real with ourselves. And you know what? You need to get real with yourself. Stop blaming other people for your heartaches. Do something about it. Because no matter what, you can make the change. You can clean up your neighborhoods. You can do all these supportive factors in your neighborhoods and make it a nice place, like the places across town that don't have even dog poop on the sidewalk. Respect where you live. It's a shame. It's a shame that we are still living like this in this day and time. And I say that because, I always had houses. I had downside, lost everything, whatever. But I ain't on the street. Yeah, I live in public housing. That's my home. But just because it's my home, I ain't gotta have to live like I ain't got no sense. I have enough courage. Take your garbage out. Don't leave it in the hallway. Don't dirty up the elevator. The people work hard every day. They come in there, they clean the hallways up, and you still don't respect it. You don't even respect where you live. Or respect others that have to live with you in the building. I'm bringing that because it just turns my stomach. It makes no sense. And my kids used to be like, especially my oldest daughter, she would be ashamed. She didn't even want to bring nobody to where we live because we lived in the project, her friends. I said, well, you know what, tell her, those are your friends. But you know what? You can't, if they like you for who you are, it shouldn't matter where you live. This is unfortunately. Because my kids never lived in no project. They always grew up in houses. I grew up in houses. What can I tell you? It's no big deal. But if you have to do what you got to do, make it comfortable for yourself. But you don't have to live like that. And that's just sad. It's just really sad, you know? So, with that saying what Malcolm X said, what he said, I'll repeat it again, because it's so dear to me. A man who stands for nothing will fall for anything. That means to me, a person, to me also, a person that don't have no education, don't think they know everything, and don't know nothing. A person who follows behind negative people, see if they got your back when you get locked up with them chains. Who got your back now? Nobody. And then it could also construe in everyday life that we continue to go through, where a person who is in a lot of pain, instead of getting help, they draw pain to others. For example, kids out here jumping other kids, bullying other kids, because they're angry with whatever's going on in their own life. So that's their front. They put their little clique together, pick on innocent people, hurt them, harm them, and then think they did something. But the only catch is, now we got technology, y'all. They putting it on the internet. And I don't understand something too. Now, I gotta say it. This technology, right? I went into YouTube and on page, they got different things you can put up. You can put in girls fighting in the locker room. I was so disgusted seeing all these videos on YouTube. And this is violence. I want to know, what is the government doing? Why aren't you locking these people up? They're giving you the evidence, showing you what they did to somebody. Why they ain't locked up? Why? Violating others, and it's live on the internet. Live on the internet. It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. I'm just saying. Well, we have another gentleman that I admire a lot. Back in the day, Chuck D and Flavor. Flavor, honey. That's right, honey. I was living in Rockville Center. I had my own house. That's when I got my own house. I was 25 years old. And I was the first person of color that lived in Rockville Center on my block. Yes, 25 years old. And when Chuck D and them came out, woo, woo, woo. Oh, I was all in with that woo, woo, woo. So let me tell you what Chuck D said. You want to hear this? Bring up Chuck D. He said, being positive is like going up a mountain. Being negative is like sliding down a hill. A lot of times, people want to take the easy way out because it's basically what they've understood throughout their lives. So true. Right on the button. So true. People want to continue to take the easy way out. I got to read this again. I want you to get this. Being positive is like going up a mountain. Being negative is like sliding down that hill or wobbling down that hill. A lot of times, people want to take the easy way out because it's basically what they've understood throughout their lives. Perfect example. We're still going through that. Like right now, a lot of things in social services and stuff, it's gotten worse. I used to work for the city. You thought they were lacking and lazy then. They got the technology. They worse now. They really ain't doing no work. They still taking their 2-hour breaks have you sitting in their waiting room all day with people screaming kids all day, catching germs from people coughing all over you, whatever, in these offices. While they back there having coffee, 2-hour lunches, and then call you and rush you out and screw up your case. Then you got to come back. Keep coming back. It's so sad. You can report them to the commissioner. I've done it. It's opened doors, but it still did no good because they continue to do what they do in these offices and get away with it. And it's sad. It's so sad. You know, and I tell you, and I tell young people, I say this to young people wholly. You're coming out here in this world. There's a lot of opportunity for you, but you're not going to get it for free. You got to have good grades. You have to have a good resume. They're looking for all of that. You have to have a good resume. You have to have the right attitude, too. Who wants to have a ghetto, you know what, on a job, with their pants down, girl with her chest all out, tight spandex, and got a nasty mouth? I wouldn't hire you. Hell no. You got to change your attitude, sweetheart. Seriously. It's about respect. You know, and we continue to lack respect. We continue to disrespect each other. We do. I mean, I ain't perfect. Of course, I'm nowhere near perfect. Sometimes Butterscotch get in her head, and I go off too. But I tell you one thing. I know how to come back and rectify whatever I say. If I offended anybody, oh well. It's not about me offending anybody. It's about me telling you the truth, how I feel, because I have that opportunity to give it to you. And because you took it the negative way, you must be feeling guilty about something. Because for you to go off on me for what I said, I touched a nerve. And that's my ego right there. I touched a nerve. When I piss somebody off, I already know I touched a nerve. You know. So either you want to try to hurt me, define me, you know. That's what people do. That's what negative people do when they want to cut you off, slice you up, and kick you out. You know. That's what they do. That's what they do. This is everyday life with people generally. They don't like to hear the truth. And most of the world don't like to hear the truth. So they get I can't even say it. You know, they get, crazy with their mess and try to do something to sabotage you. Sabotage you in the workplace, sabotage you in school, sabotage anywhere. Sabotage you. Yeah. Just to try to intimidate you, to shut you up. You know? It's sad. It's really sad. So that's something that you should definitely take a look at. Put it on your refrigerator. Read it every day. You know, back in the day, I used to go in apartments and stuff. People used to have their Bibles on their shelves and everything, open Bibles and stuff and everything. And I asked somebody, have you ever read the whole Bible? No. I said, why you have it on that? Well, it's a tradition. Southern tradition. Yes, it's in the South, Southern tradition. Leave the Bible open in Psalms or wherever. You know, that's people's cultures. You can't fault that. I don't fault that. I mean, everybody prays in the way they want to praise and everything, But you got to respect it. You have to respect them. They're Jewish, whatever. Because basically, we all came from the same source, the same creator. He made us in many forms, many styles, many forms. Different hair, different eyes, different lips, different shape of the bodies. He did all of this. And none of us would be here if it wasn't for the Creator. I don't care how you praise him. Some people call him Messiah. Some people call him Allah. different names, but it's the same person. I use the word creator because that kills everything. When I say creator, it's the universe. We're all in this universe together. We need to stop the hatred. We need to stop it. We really do. We came a long way, but we still haven't came that much of a long way, I say. I was born in 62. My mother used to tell me around that time, that's when the riots was going on and everything, and, in the 60s, a lot of stuff changed, but ain't really changed that much. You go through Virginia, they see North come up, they still flag your car over and want to search your car. They still do that stuff, going through Virginia. And I can't stand, I like Virginia, it's a nice state, but I would never live in Virginia. Could never get me in a million years to live in Virginia. That's one place I would never move to. No way. So back to everything else that affects us around Black History Month. We had a lot of sportsmanship too. Well, first of all, I want to say, shout out to Kobe Bryant. I was devastated because I had been sick and dead for days. So I haven't been watching the news or anything. So I was up late, and they said it was doing remembrance of Kobe. I said, why are they doing remembrance of Kobe Bryant? So I went and Googled it. My heart was racing. I had a mild anxiety. I said, oh my God, another one died in the air. And his beautiful daughter died with him. You know what? I ain't gonna say it. I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna leave that alone right now, but I will put it on my social media. But basically, I ain't buying it. We lost Aaliyah, plane crash. Beautiful, bright, beautiful girl. And her music is still going strong. That young girl, Aaliyah, oh my God. Left Eye from TLC. I adored her. She goes into a foreign country. Fatal car crash. Okay. Now we have a young man, basketball player, in a freaking helicopter. And him and his daughter died. I tell you, I don't understand it. All these people with all this money flying in these little planes and stuff. You would think it would be more secure check before they take off. Hint, hint. Think about that. Think about that. Okay? Now, I mentioned sports. This gentleman, oh my God, those who like baseball, I don't like baseball. My ex loved baseball. That was his thing. He played baseball too. That was his sport. Well, we have so many famous people. Sports. We strive in everything. We strive in music. We strive in acting. We strive in writing, poetry. We strive in inventions. The list goes on. We definitely strive in cooking. Okay? And if you knew that, I got to bring this up because I'm just giving y'all a little feed and you can look it up. If you knew some of the history around, especially in the South. Now, the traditional meals, like certain things that people ate in the South, it came from slavery, like chitlins, intestines and stuff. You know why? These people, when they was enslaved by these monsters, right? They would give them the guts and stuff from the chicken and stuff while they made them cook their food and for their table, feed their families, and gave them the rotten stuff. And for these slaves to feed their children and themselves, they had to learn how to cook this stuff so they could eat. That's where the tradition of chitlins came from, hog head and all that crap that they eat, all came from slavery time. So it manifests in their households, right? Now I don't eat no chitlins. Never had. I don't care if they stink. I can't. I would not. I can eat them. I know my mother used to clean them and eat them. You know, back in the day. I never eat them. She told me when I was a baby, she said I just love to eat them. I said, I ain't eating no. I stink. I can't eat them things. No way. But guess what? Now all those traditions, right? They serve them in restaurants, especially in the South. And the Caucasians got the recipe, and they're making them and serving them in their restaurants. Even copied down to fried chicken. You can't make this up. I've been down south, certain parts of down south, into certain restaurants and stuff. And it's, you know, it's white man establishment. Nothing but soul food, honey. Soul food. I said, but surprisingly, I ain't gonna lie, this one I went to, the food was slamming in the South. But it came from people of color. They got the recipes from them, and they, instead of them helping them get a business, they open a business so they can make money off the soul food and draw you in so you can spend your money in their restaurant. This is continue to go on. Steal and take, and reap the credit from us. And it's true fact. You know, this is so important why you need to know about your history. Because we got so much history, you wouldn't believe. We got so much history you wouldn't believe. In all our cultures. It is very interesting. Even when I watch the Hitler stuff, all that stuff, it's horrible. Even the sign over in China, what they used to do, where they had to take the baby girls and hide them because they would kill anybody born with a baby girl. They would kill the girls. I'm telling you, this is not only in black people's culture. It's in all across the board. If you go into the history, we're not that much different. If you go and look into the history, what happened during their time, we're not so much different. Only thing different with us people is that we all have different shades of skin. Some of us are dark, some of us are light, some of us are albino, some of us got hazel. I got family that got hazel eyes, and they hazel. You go to Italy, honey, I'm telling you, they got Italy, Italians over there. They are darker than me with straight hair. Then they come over here and they act racist. Hello. You can't make this stuff up, I'm telling you. You know, and what's so sad about it is that if you are a person who is a racist, you teach your children to be a racist until some of the children get away and like, they don't like their parents. I had a girlfriend, my girlfriend, one of my best friends, when I was in school. She said, my mother and them, they're racist. They were German. They're racist. But honey, she didn't care. She had red, pretty hair. Me and her used to roll. We used to go to camp. We both hated Girl Scouts. We messed up, so we got kicked out. But we were best of friends. She had red hair. And me and her used to tear her up because we didn't want to be there. I hated Girl Scouts and stuff. My mother made me in Girl Scouts, and I hated it. Only thing I liked was the campus. So we did some crazy stuff until we got kicked out. But anyway, her family were prejudiced. And me and her were best friends. But the thing is, they were prejudiced, but they accepted me because me and her were best friends. Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird? They didn't treat me like, don't bring that. No. They saw me and this girl were so close, even though they were racist. You got people like that. You got people like that smile in your face. Oh, I like your hair. I like your hair. I love your skin. Do you wear this? I used to be asking all the time. What kind of makeup? You got beautiful skin. What kind of makeup you wear? I said, I don't have no makeup. This is my skin. This is natural. I don't have no foundation on my face. This is all me, honey. Only thing I wear to this day. Only thing I wear because I'm older now. You know, my eyes are getting loose. You know, thinning out. So I wear mascara now because my eyes are almost gone. My eyebrows, I have to put some on my eyebrows because they're fading out because I'm old. But to this day, I still don't wear no foundation. Natural skin, you know. That's what I was blessed with. What can I tell you? But anyway, I used to ask that. They said, "Oh, your skin is so beautiful." Thank you. What kind of makeup you wear? I said, I don't have no makeup on. They're like, what? I said, no. I can't. I never could get into all that. You know, I hate when people wear all that makeup and they look like, you can see they look like a clay on their freaking face. Look like monsters to me. You know, and they just go overboard. You can tell when somebody got makeup on because their face is all powdery and it just look like clay. It don't look natural. You can tell. But me, myself and I don't wear makeup. Only I wear is mascara. That's it, and eyeliner and lipstick. No, it's all me. All me, all me, all me, internet, all me. But anyway, getting back to that, I wanted to talk to you about, I just want to bring a lot of stuff to you because this is my first day of doing a little Black History segment, Butterscotch. I was supposed to have a guest. I don't know what happened to this poet, but she's a poet, artist. I've heard her perform. She's awesome. And she had the opportunity to come today, but I don't know what happened to her. Oh well, but the show must go on. So anyway, this gentleman, baseball, he said, bring up Jackie Robinson. Jackie Robinson. Oh, he went through a lot. They had a league, Jackie Robinson. They had a league for, they call them colored people in baseball. And again, colored people also outdone that too. But they went through hell playing baseball. But when the person saw they were getting that money, oh, yeah. Even though they still hated the fact because he was a person of color. But they found he was valuable to make that money. Yeah. But he went through a struggle. I want you to understand that. Those that's into sports, look up the history of Jackie Robinson. Read up on his struggle that he had to go through just to get into the baseball league. Well, like I said, when they found that he was valuable, even though they still cheated him, that was the money, they cheated them all. Just like a lot of singers like Billie Holiday, all of them. They got him strung out on heroin back in the day. You need to read up, those listen to music, you need to read up on all these famous musicians that are not here anymore, you know, that was into heroin. Heroin was big. But You know, their little producers who introduced it to them took all their money, and they're not here no more. You see? You made somebody else who's rich off your hard work. Again. So Jackie Robinson said, I'm not concerned with your liking or disliking me. All I ask is that you respect me as a human being. That's right. And that's what I say all the time. I'm not concerned if you don't like me or not. Yes, I'm sensitive because I'm a person sensitive. I love people, all people. But one thing that touches my heart the most is when you disrespect me. That's something I don't tolerate, and I will react to it. That's right. Okay? True fact. So, I want to read something to you. Oh my God, I don't have my glasses. I wanted to read Maya Angelou to you, which I know you heard 100 times, but anyway. Bring up Maya Angelou. Stop bringing them up, Brian. We only got a few minutes. Now, this young lady, she's amazing. And I respect her so much because she talked about her life back in the day, what she had to do to survive. She wrote about freedom, glory. She got so many quotes that they just had to give it to her. They had to give it to her. Maya Angelou. She's a blessing. Another one that you can never grate. She'll live on a lifetime like Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. These are people that I put up here that you'll never forget. But there's more. There's a lot more. That's one of our greats. Show the next one, sweetie. We're going to go through all of them now. Go ahead. Oh, Michelle. What did she say? Success isn't about how much money you make. It's about the difference you make in people's lives. Quote, quote, quote. Did y'all hear that? See, people get so greedy, they forget the main purpose. And then eventually you fall and you flop. I've seen it happen. Because you know what? It happened to me. I put my tools and believe in people. Put my hard-earned money that I work for to start a new venture. And I ended up losing everything. Yeah, I did. Yeah. And that was a wake-up for me, but it took me a long time. I stayed in Jersey for 9 years. I was stuck in Jersey for 9 years. And that's when I saw all hell break loose. I saw things like, when y'all go to the movie and y'all watch them action-packed movies, gun, real machine. Honey, I lived it. Jersey ain't no joke, y'all. I tell anybody, it ain't. And New York ain't got nothing on Jersey, I can tell you right now. That's some gangster hood over there, for real. And that's why I said 6 times. 6 times. Yeah. But this month is so important to us as people. And I hope that you get this. I hope that you get this because you need to teach your kids some history about where the ancestors come from. The inventors. There's so many inventions out there that was done by people of color, created. Open heart surgery, the lights, There's a lot. I should have brought the whole list, but the next segment, I'll bring the whole list. Give y'all a little education. Okay? So your kids can feel like they're just as important being on this ground as anybody else. And you got ignorance people out there that's going to discriminate. You can't change people, but you don't have to harp in it. Ignore. You know, you tried to fight the power, all of that. That's all part of our history. And you know, the feds shut it down. But it's history. Our history goes from the Caribbean, Africa, which is really the motherland to everybody. That's right. Motherland to everything on God's creation. You really need to teach your kids this. Instead of showing them the video games, letting them watch booty pop, letting them watch rap disrespecting women and themselves, listen to that crap. You know, I appreciate all music, but like I tell any artist that come on my show, you gotta do some clean rap. I don't want to hear you calling women out their name. I don't want to hear none of that hoe popping because it's disrespectful. I say to me as a woman, and you should be ashamed of yourself. You got all this talent. Put that talent into music that's going to mean something. Put it in the talent that's going to mean something. Because there's a lot of artists out there that I definitely respect because they're rapping about true stuff, their life. You know, and when you hear it, you be like, wow, this is deep. A shout out to Nas from Queensbridge. I love me some Nas. Shout out to Tupac, very talented. I love me some Tupac. Kanye West, I love him too. Common, Chance the Rapper. The list goes on. Damon Dash, I love you back in the day, Damon Dash. Jay, you all right, you know, but you know I got a flaw with you. I ain't feeling him because, you know, you come from Brooklyn, Bedford-Stuyvesant. You got billions of money, and it's sad that people are still living in shelters. I'm bringing it up again because it's another topic that we're going to bring up again. I'm going to keep bringing it up because it's a shame that these children are growing up in these shelters. And these people are making money for them to live like that. But yet they're building up apartment buildings all over where people who can't even afford them, people with low income can't even afford to get in them. And then because the government has a deal, it's all politics, baby, have a deal, they got to take a certain percentage in those establishments, which would probably be like 1 or 2 people in the whole apartment building. So they can get that little money they get from the government to finance them, to have that establishment. We always being used as a pawn. Don't y'all see that? Yes. And it's sad. It's so sad. They building up all these condominiums. You know, I watch New York Listing. I like that show. She's looking at all these you should see these beautiful high-rise apartments and how much they cost in New York City. Go to Greenwich Village. Go to all these places. The hideaways, when you go inside of them, you wouldn't believe what they look like. You're talking about melting gold pots, marble, floors, everything, all kinds of stuff. I'm telling you. And only people with money can afford it. Right here in New York. New York got a lot of, I'm telling you, and they're still building and building. But they're not thinking about the poor. No, when they start building up stuff, they make glamorized, and then they want to move the poor out and put them in the back burner, probably close to the ocean, where they had Hurricane Sandy out here in Staten Island. Because I live in the front, and they built this freaking outlet over here at the ferry. More and more traffic. And I could see the change, and I'm not even in Staten Island already. I said, this was going to happen. They're going to try to get everybody out of these nicer houses, remodel them, make them nice, probably turn them into condominiums. And everybody living in them nicer housing will be moved in the back burner close to the ocean where the storm is so they can be washed away. That's how much they care about you. But you see, community, you don't fight, you don't take a stand. You vote for these politicians who make promises to you, and they don't do what they promise. They're all liars. Well, they have to lie to get your vote, you know. That's the name of the game. It's like playing poker or playing chess. I play poker very well, and my ex, he was a perfect chess player. Chess is a little more detailed, but I can still play chess. I know a little about chess. But that's how the world is. They play chess and poker. And they strategize it in their business. And that's why everything is the way it is. So you should learn how to play chess and learn how to play poker. But don't go gamble crazy because you can't get addicted. Go to Atlantic City or Las Vegas and give all your fur coats. You see, go down there, you go into these thrift shops, you wouldn't believe all the stuff that people have pawned from gambling. Now, let me tell you, if you want to be a smart shopper, y'all want to be a smart shopper,